Well, welcome back, everybody, to part two of the defense of the Obsidian Gate as a strange creature has interluded upon this great ceremony that is currently in process. I'm getting feedback from somebody. Let's see. Judging by the fact everyone's wearing headsets but one person, I'm going to make a guess.
Oh, is it me?
It might be. Are you using speakers or a headset?
I'm actually using my cell phone until I get my laptop pulled up. So that's
Gotcha.
probably me.
It's probably. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. So, with that in mind, the team, after taking care of the main body of the lizard folk that were trying to subject and take over the Sawtooth clan and successfully defending them, not only that, but also rescuing the guardian of the egg clutch, having discussions about the fatalistic intent of the ceremony, the sacrifice of the daughter of Sawtooth, and then preparing for what they felt would be the inevitable intrusion by some unknown force that would be intent on stopping this ceremony that is designed specifically to not only protect the world from what's believed to be a betrayer god that is imprisoned within the roots of the volcano, but a ceremony that is conducted every 100 years through the sacrifice of the spirit of someone who's brought into existence to keep these celestial gates or this gate permanently closed. And we had learned quite a bit about the Obsidian Gate and its intent. And while examining the different pictographs and the different kind of like items within the gate complex, the team discovered that there is both a Sylvan as well as a almost like a heritage link between the past of those that were involved in the idea of the ceremony of sealing this gate. And it would appear that once again, we have gotten to the point of a ceremony in the process and its conclusion. Puck had an interesting interlude with what felt like a consciousness similar to Draxelhaven, the great ancient dragon turtle that still sits out amongst the ocean, possibly the actual home to those merfolk that were way back. I mean, way back.
It was only like a few days ago, but
well, I mean, actually, that interlude was probably a couple weeks ago from a standpoint of travel, but session-wise, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
And for almost the entire time of our last session, the team fought this creature, this dragon-like creature that is trying to intrude upon this ceremony of activity, while at the same time, a storm is beginning to rise in the background as the ceremony to conclude the ceremony. Now that the spirit has been placed into the orb, eventually the great procession of the lizard folk to bring the orb up to the Obsidian Gate to seal it yet again for another 100 years. And I believe where we last left off was at the end of round 4.
We stopped right after that guy last time.
Yeah.
Oh, so we did. So we stopped at the beginning of round 5.
Well,
or
Winter went and Spot went and Thing.
Oh,
went.
so we are mid 4. That's why I have an asterisk.
We are
mid 4, which is why I have an asterisk for that. So let's go ahead and get everybody in order, and then we will bring up Tailspire. I've got Winter had already gone. Spot second. The creature had already gone. All right. Go ahead and switch over to Tailspire. And with that, creature had finished his turn. let me do this because I don't know why that's doing that. Go back to what you were. There we go.
I think you can saw the red dragon plume. So little healing action there on spot.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think you guys were trying to be creative the last time we were just chatting.
Oh no, I was referring to his cat actually licking his head.
Oh.
She does that. She's a good kitty.
It's the soul of Spot licking on the red dragon's head there.
No kidding. All right. So, with that, I believe, Earthen, you are up with Xanath on deck.
Okay,
Currently, Xanath is down on the ground, and you can see that lunch is now in the mix. And I believe some kind of a aura effect is in two places. I know there was an effect, I think Moonbeam was an effect.
Yep.
And then I believe, Puck, you had brought something into effect as well near lunch. And you are currently up in the tree, Puck. And I believe Spot was polymorphed.
I'm polymorphed into a young red dragon, and I'm also currently in a gaseous state because of our dragon print here. So I can't actually physically do anything until the end of his next turn.
That's right. As he put you in between the shadow realms. Yeah. And then Winter is currently, she had climbed up the sheer rock to get up above. Let me enlarge this so I can, there we go, that's better. So with that, Earthen, you are up with your vantage point since you're still flying at this point.
Oh yeah. I am going to use Minor Illusion, my cantrip, to cast this sound. See if this works. Right?
That sounds horrific. Okay, where are you casting that at?
The idea is that's the sound that a rock makes when it's like in battle fighting something, right?
So you
because we rode the rock before,
right?
And it, we've heard its sounds of hunting and that before. So the idea is not so much to
give me a performance check for starters.
Okay. Oh, good roll. That's 25.
Nice.
It was rather terrifying, though, wasn't it?
Hey, before
intimidation or persuasion? With advantage.
So persuasion, because my intent is to call the rock. I'm trying to make a noise loud enough to bring that big boy over here.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, nat 20. So that also, I mean, with the extras, that's a 30. Yeah. That's
okay.
with my persuasion goodness.
All right. So we'll say that's your action. So you still have your bonus action.
To be my action, yeah. Bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
And then for my move, I would like to stay. I want to stay far enough away from him so I don't get anywhere near for opportunity attacks. I think I'm up in the air anyway.
Yes.
But, I want to kind of fly, kind of like I'm going around behind him, but not close enough to that aura. I think 10 feet is that aura, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That would put you like right about there.
Yeah, I can go up a little higher if I need to. Just the idea is to try and get around behind him a little bit.
Okay.
And that sound was just sent out. It wasn't like necessarily any direction, just sent out. Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 19.
19. You don't see anything immediately because that was rather quick, but it was loud enough to the point that everybody else heard it. And while some of your friends are not really sure why you did it, they're kind of looking around as well, almost as if they think the rock is coming in to a certain degree. So far as you can tell, it was pretty persuasive. It might have actually worked.
They smell what he's cooking. Rock jokes all day.
All day long. All right, that'll wrap up Earthen's turn. Zenith, you're up with Puck on deck.
Okay. Is there anyone who's within 30 feet of me right now? Because I'd like to give them some temp HP if I can.
Lunch might be?
I think Lunch is.
I think Lunch is the only one.
Okay, let me give him some temp HP then, using my Twilight Sanctuary, so that's 1d6 plus 10. So Lunch gets 12 temp HP.
Where's Punch, Puck? Is he down at the ceremony? Is that where you left him? Oh, he went racing to warn them. That's right.
Yep.
Punch went down to the ceremony. Okay.
And then if Winter is within 60 feet of me, I'm going to throw a healing word at her because I know
she's
she got
right on the edge. Yeah, she's right on the edge of 60 feet.
All right. Is she like within 60 feet that I can grab her, or do I need to run forward?
No, let me see. Oh man, I hate it when it does that. It actually overshoots the line. There. She's actually 65 feet, so you're probably looking to have to shoot, like, get right there.
All right, I'll run 5 feet forward. I'll hit her with a 3rd level healing word.
Okay.
That's 3d4 plus 4.
Ooh, that's nice.
4, 5. 4, 5, 9 plus 4 is 13. So that's 13 points to Winter of healing.
Nice.
And then I'll leave the moonbeam where it is because I think it's still right on the dragon.
Okay.
And I just have a bonus action, which I can't do anything with. So actually, you know what? Can I use a bonus action to try and figure out if this dude is undead?
Sure. Give me either religion or nature. Your choice.
Okay. That's a 23 for religion.
Very nice. Looking at it doesn't feel like undead because of its behavior.
Okay.
There's almost everything it does is almost as if it's maybe from the ethereal plane. The way it manipulates shadow, the way it manipulates the space, what it just did to Spot's polymorph form, almost like trapping him momentarily in between the space of the ethereal plane, which at least tells you it's probably not from this plane, it's not undead, and it seems to be manipulating ethereal magic.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. Puck, you are up. Literally. That's your vantage point, up in the tree.
Yes. First of all, thank you, Zenith. The lunch boy appreciates it dearly, although he is our tank.
He is.
Well, I mean, we have a red dragon tank currently, too.
That's true.
A red dragon tank that could absolutely use some healing when yeah.
On the bright side, like the way polymorph like hit points works, if he hits you and knocks you like past 0, you just lose.
Yeah,
that
I just
much off your
revert back to
existing.
my kitty form, with has
And like any excess takes yours. But yeah, you were pretty well off on health, I think, before that point.
Yeah, so. I don't remember the exact amount. I think I was about 70-ish in my kitty form, so it wasn't outrageous, but yeah.
Okay,
all right, Puck, what you doing?
I guess I'll start with my bonus action and ask Lunch to go upwards to the sky and see if there is if he senses any dragon or anything that might be controlling this storm, because it seems like there is something happening with those crystals and something that is increasing. So I just want to make sure there wasn't anything up there.
So you want Lunch to go and investigate the storm?
Yes.
Okay. So that will take his move and his action. So as his, I'll take his move and his bonus action. So we'll say for now, he is up in the air. Have him make either a insight check or an arcana check. Your choice.
Ooh, no. So it doesn't say on his original sheet.
That's true. Insight and arcana. Just have him make an intelligence check.
Okay, because he does have a -1 on intelligence.
Yeah.
But
he can give it a
dragon, right?
That's my boy. -1 on intelligence. We have that in common. Okay. That will be a 10.
A 10? The only thing that he will telepathically send to you is that the storm is making it difficult for him to stay anchored in the material plane.
Oh, shoot.
Like, it's almost like as he rises up and starts interacting with the storm, he almost glitches. Like, there's a moment where he's his material form, and then he shifts into his like ghostly fey form. Almost like he's passing through energy that's causing his magic to kind of glitch his form.
Ooh, okay, that's concerning. I guess I'll ask him to stay there a little bit longer to see if he can get more information in the next round.
Okay, so you still have your move and your action.
Okay. So, I guess, first of all, I'm going to cancel my wall of wind.
Okay.
Just because I think it would be in my way right now. And I'm going to do 2 shots. One regular with my crossbow, one regular, and one with Hail of Thorns on the first level.
Go for it.
So I'll do the regular one first.
Love that sound.
It's 29.
29 will definitely hit.
Nice. And
A lot of dice, Zenith. What'd you do? Cast Fireball? She's
11.
like, I cast Fireball on the DM.
That would be 11 in damage.
Okay. You watch as the bolt sinks into the creature's flesh, but the flesh, once again, when it gets hit, it turns into like shadowy energy and like tendrils of reaction to it. But it looks like it took the damage, from what you could tell.
I guess I'll do Hail of Thorns now.
Okay.
Oof, that's a 10.
10. You watch as the thorns cascade out. The dragon creature like brings up its huge shadowy wings, and the thorns kind of bounce and pelt off of its form. Still have your move.
Okay, as a move, I'll stay in the shrubbery, but I'll try to move in closer.
You're currently up in the tree.
Can I kind of swing from branch to branch in that general direction?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check just to make sure you don't fall out of the tree.
There's a gnome falling out of a tree.
Let's hope for the best.
Because that's always Winter's forte.
If a
always
gnome
climbs up and then falls right back out.
If a gnome falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it,
then I think I don't fall, so I think that's fine. 14.
14, you're good.
Okay.
We'll treat it as difficult terrain. So 15 feet to your left or your right?
Towards the red dragon.
Okay. We'll put you right about there. Up in the canopy of the trees. That will finish your turn. That officially brings us to the top of the 5th round. And Winter, you are up, and then the storm is on deck.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to say, which may be baby steps for some of you, but I just learned today how to hook my laptop to my computer screen monitor.
Yay! It's a lot more fun when you got a bigger screen, huh?
and you can have your camera on one screen and your character sheet on the other.
Yeah. I feel like a little kid.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Okay.
So Winter, you are currently up on the side of the cliff above the gate and the ever pulsing crystals that are getting brighter. The creature is still down below. You can see Puck over in the canopy, Earthen up above you to the right. The strange gaseous form that Spot was turned into, and down on the ground you can see Xanath as well. What would you like to do?
I want to move now because I realize being right there isn't too great.
You have Misty Step, so you could bonus action Misty Step, I believe.
Okay, so I want to move as far as I can, like in action, and then I'll use Misty Step.
So do you want to stay on the cliffs and move backwards? Is that the plan?
Yeah, like to the right some without falling off.
Okay. Give me acrobatics to make sure you don't slip.
Thank you. It's a 13.
So you're good. You stumble a little bit, but you manage to keep from falling off the edge. Now, if you bonus action Misty Step, do you want to come down or stay up on the cliffs? Or
I want to come down.
Okay. So
by the tree.
that way you do not have to. Ooh, there's a good little hiding spot right there. I'll put you back into the trees again with your. You still have your action.
Am I far enough to shoot?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, then I'll take my shot.
Go for it. Get 2 shots.
So it's gonna be a 22 for the first one,
That'll hit.
and a 24 for the second one.
Both will hit. Roll damage for both.
The first one's a 7,
Okay.
and the second one's also a 7.
Let's watch as Winter carefully moves across the cliff and then Misty steps down below into the trees. Both arrows go arcing out, striking the creature. Once again, its form kind of cracking into darkened energy ash that kind of pulses out with each strike and then pulling itself back together. I will say at this point, you notice that it's having to do that more and more recently. And that would be an indicator that maybe it's beginning to struggle to hold its form here. That will finish Winter's turn. The storm is now up. I need everybody to make dex saves, please.
Oh no.
Because I'm gaseous right now. Yeah.
You have advantage because you are gaseous.
Okay, dex save with advantage. Actually, no, something else on that.
27.
Nice.
I used
Wait,
up
what
all
do you
my
roll
good
for
rolls.
dex?
The box that says saving throws, I think, like right up above, not the ability checks, but the little box that's above all that.
Oh, right, we did that before. We went over that.
Yep.
Gotcha. It's
So
a
what'd you
14.
get, Zenith?
I got a 3.
That'll
Nope,
fail.
you just rolled
Earthen?
initiative.
Oh.
Sorry, the 14 was initiative roll. It wasn't the right
Thank
roll.
you.
Yep. I rolled an 8, a 2 plus 6.
That'll definitely fail. Spot?
Yeah.
27.
Yep, you're good. Winter?
I'm still trying to figure out because I forgot last time.
It's the one. So are you on your phone or are you on your?
I'm on my phone.
Okay, hang on. It's
because it's mobile. It's in its mobile display.
mobile setup
so
is
it's
different.
A little
Yeah,
shrunk.
different spot. Hang on.
Sorry. I used my
No, it's
laptop
fine.
last time.
No, I'd rather you use your phone because if you use your laptop, it'll slow your laptop down.
Okay, yeah, from the home screen. So if you click your home screen to like where your strength, dexterity, all that is, the next one down is saving throws. And then
Oh,
there's strength, intelligence. Yeah, you click the dexterity on that one.
I feel blind. Thank you.
It's okay.
It's a 13, so it's still the same.
That'll fail. So with that, Zenith, and Earthen and Winter, there's a strange kind of arcane sensation, like you feel yourself being slowly electrocuted. You feel the hairs on your arms, the hair on your head, kind of like beginning to stand up on end. And it's almost as if you're being pulled into something that you can't see. As the three of you will take 12 points of force damage from the effect.
Yikes.
Ow.
Give me a concentration save, Zenith, to make sure that Moonbeam stays up.
All right.
I need a concentration save too, I believe.
Yes, you do.
That's a 4.
Moonbeam is now gone.
Ha! Couldn't have rolled worse.
Does that mean we're back to being Spot?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
He's a cat. He'll land okay.
Actually, probably will.
Actually, he's a gaseous cat, so, I mean...
All right.
So back to being a kitty.
Back to being Spot the kitty.
Aww.
All right. They'll finish the storm's turn. Spot, you are up with the creature on deck.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still gaseous, right? So I can't really do anything.
Oh, that's right. You are still gaseous. The only
until the
thing
end of
you
his
can
turn.
do is move.
Okay. Are there any effects that would keep me from that would damage me if I went up to him, basically?
Yeah, he's got that 10-foot radius aura around
He does
him.
have his aura of terror, but no, I don't think it would affect you because you're not here or there. So I'm thinking you can't do anything other than move, and for the most part, nothing can really damage you currently.
All right, yeah. I am curious also because you said I'm gaseous, so God.
You're gonna try
I'm
to
sorry,
get
I'm about to
inhaled?
think on the fly because I was expecting to be a dragon.
I go through his left nostril.
Right.
I don't. Pretty much, I'm kind of thinking that because something similar. Like if I fly into his face and then expand next time, I'm sure I'm not going to enjoy the experience. But I don't know.
They did it
I'm
on
gonna say
Critical
I
Role.
would fly right underneath him, kind of in his underbelly. literally right below him. Preferably if I see a spot where I think it would be hard for him to reach back. I don't know how articulate dragons are, but yeah, if there's like a spot underneath him where it's going to give me a clear shot to like.
And you're in gaseous form, so the move is not a big deal. You're able to
get
up underneath him, and that will finish your turn. And now it's the creature's turn. And at the beginning of its turn, you're now back to your normal form.
That was the end of his next turn.
Did I say end? Sorry. Yeah, end of his turn, you'll be back to normal form. He... it is going to charge at Xanath.
Oh.
Winter's back. Winter's back. All right. And it is going to... It's going to take all 4 of its melee strikes at you, Winter. Or, sorry, Xanath.
All right.
The first one is a 19.
That'll hit.
Second one is a 16.
That's going to miss.
The third one's going to be a 25.
That'll hit.
And then the bite is going to be a 21.
I'm gonna silvery barbs that third hit, the 25.
Does that mean I have to reroll?
Yep, you got to reroll. Take the lower.
Good call. That was a 15.
Sweet.
So 1 claw and 1 bite.
And so the advantage, I'm going to save for myself.
Okay. The claw will do 11 points of slashing.
All right.
And then the bite will do 14 points of piercing.
All right.
I almost rolled max on that one.
Ugh.
Let's see. Bonus action. Oh, I need you to make a con save because he moved into base with you.
Okay. I'm not going to roll that one. Oop. That's going to be a 9.
You'll take 8 points of necrotic damage from his aura of terror.
All right.
Let's see. Did his action? He is going to bonus action. He is going to do Shadow Shrike. Give me a dex save, please.
All right.
Ouch.
Rough round for me. All right. 10.
10. His entire form turns into shadow. It swirls around you, picking you up and slamming you into the ground for 6 points of force damage.
Okay.
As he decides to concentrate on you. So, with that, that'll finish his turn. Spot, you're back to your normal form. Earthen, you are up with Xanath on deck.
Okay. I'm pretty far away from him. All right, we're at the gate. Yeah. So, am I 60 feet away from Xanth, or do I need to move a little closer for that?
You're gonna have to move about 15 to 20 feet closer.
Okay, I'll do that then. Also get lower to try and get out of the lightning a bit if I can.
Okay. That'll put you within 60 feet of it right there.
Okay, and then
If you want to turn me back into a dragon, that's fine.
yeah. So I
if
mean,
you want to turn me back into Tiamat, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
hang on. Let me. I need to look something up real quick.
Dun dun dun.
So we're all right. Okay, yeah, I'm going to Xanth, do you trust me?
All right.
Buck's like,
Shaking her head.
I'm going to polymorph Xanth
Okay, into
a stone golem,
Nice.
Ooh.
okay.
which has immutable form. It's immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form. The golem
Yeah.
has advantage on saving throws against spells or other magical effects. Its weapon attacks are magical.
Sweet.
Damage immunities: poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. Condition immunities: charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poison.
Man, Earthen's turning into the
Also, your actions: you got a multi-attack, 2 slam attacks. The slam is plus 10 to hit. It's 3d8 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. You also, your like special attack thing is slow.
Awesome. I think I found the stat block on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, for stone golem. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your action and some of your move.
Yep.
What would you like to do for your bonus action there, Earthen? And you are concentrating again.
Yes, I am concentrating again. Can I use a bonus action to try and figure out what's going on with those crystals? Like the arcane storm and the crystals.
Give me
the
an
connection
Arcana
there?
check as a bonus action. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, that's nope, no good. That's a 5 total.
5. Yeah, you're not sure. I'll give you this much because
Crystal glows.
Well, I'll give you this much. You notice that the intensity of the storm is matching the intensity of the crystal's glow. Like they're in parallel of each other.
Okay, with my passive perception, is the rock like? Are we able to pick up on the rock anywhere now, or is it still?
You're looking around. It's between the storm and the darkness. Currently, you do not see it.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right. Xaneth, you are up with Puck on deck, and you are currently a stone golem.
Give him
right.
hell, Rocky.
Okay, I got so I have this. I have a multi-attack, I have a slam attack, and I have slow. Is slow like my action, or I could separately do the slam attack, or can I do a slam attack plus slow?
It should say in the descriptor.
The multi-attack is just 2 slam attacks.
Right.
Okay. So I could either do 2 slam attacks, or I could do slow.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
I just noticed the crap hanging out of his mouth too. That's gross.
So, not to give our DM any ideas. Is he still blighted because I'm not a dragon anymore?
Is he still blighted?
Yeah, because that was an effect, but the spell hit him, so I don't know if that does anything. I don't know what the.
I think that was just blighted because you did the blighted spell, right? Is that concentration?
I honestly don't remember because I was trying to find it again because I cannot find the original thing because I thought it was limited to the spells on it. I was in the middle of typing up a DM to you to ask
I'll look it up real
question.
quick.
It's in Discord.
Ah.
No, I think when you tried to blight him, you realized that he was immune to necrotic damage.
It was something else because he ended up getting a debuff. He got disadvantage on attack and
Then it wasn't
saves.
blight. Yeah, it wouldn't have
Yeah,
been
it was
blight.
something else. I've been trying to find it. I don't
Okay.
remember what it was.
Well, when you find it, let me know.
All right. Well, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can hit this guy with the slow effect. So he has to make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw.
Good choice. Oof. That is going to be a 14 on his wisdom.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so that means he
He's
can't
slow.
use reactions. His speed is halved, and he can't make more than 1 attack on his turn. In addition
Until
to
the beginning of your next turn?
The effect lasts for 1 minute, but he can roll a saving throw at the end of each of his turns.
Gotcha. Good to know. All right, that's your action. So you still have your bonus action and your move.
Sweet. All right. Well,
which means now you can move because he doesn't have a reaction. So he can't take attack of opportunity if you choose to move.
Yeah, although now I'm so crazy buff that I want to beat him up.
Now I want to stay in base.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna stick around and see if he'll hang out with me.
Okay. I mean, that's a strange first date, but okay. That will finish Zan's turn unless you have a bonus action that you can use.
I don't think Stone Golem has a bonus action.
Okay. Puck, you are up. Lunch is still up in the storm. You have shifted over slightly to this side. You can see that Winter has come down into the trees. Spot is back to his normal self. He's no longer gaseous. And Earthen just created a stone golem in base with the shadow dragon.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna check with Lunch again to see if there's anything else he was able to glean from what's going on up there.
I'll say because you left him in the storm, go ahead and give me another intelligence check, but with advantage. See if there's anything else he can glean while he's up there. Oh, you know what the best part is? I can stretch my feet now, not accidentally turn off my power strip. I've done that before. It was lots of fun. I just realized
so
all my
in that
electronics
case, like
are up
we won,
underneath
right?
my table. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
How hard did you hit him?
Hard enough that it turned my power off.
He got a 12.
12? Once again, his telepathic presence is not stabilized. His familiar form is unstable, almost as if the magic of the storm is creating some kind of destabilization effect between, like, different planes of existence. Almost as if, I mean, it's not high enough to give you much insight other than the fact that the storm, the gate, all seem to be connected somehow, and he's beginning to feel the effects of the storm growing in power.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll keep him there until he gets a little luckier, maybe. Okay. And am I within 120 feet?
However, at the end of his turn, I need him to make a concentration or a Constitution save, please.
Okay, makes sense. Am I within 120 feet of the gates?
Yes, you are.
Nice. Then I'm going to cast Wind Wall over the gates, and one of the effects of that is that lightning bolts can't pass through the wall, so they'll be redirected up. Gaseous forms and lightning bolts can't pass through it, so hopefully that will slow down whatever they're trying to do.
And what's the save for anyone in its effect? Strength or dex?
Strength.
Okay.
Strength 13.
Spot, give me a strength save of 13 or higher, please.
1 second. Strength save.
He's a tough kitty. He can handle it.
No, sorry, I didn't see you there.
It's only a 9.
Only a 9. Go ahead and roll damage.
He goes floofing up into the air.
No.
Just ragdolled Spot. Ah! Like in Skyrim.
the giant's cudgel.
Yeah.
It's a 7. I'm sorry, Spot.
Okay.
How much?
7.
7 points of force damage, I believe.
All right.
And is he knocked prone or knocked back at all in a failed save for Windwall? Just double check that for me.
I think I sent that in the Discord last time, actually.
Question for you, because I might be thinking of another character I had that was a rogue.
I don't think it says that. It doesn't mention falling over. It just says.
Nope, you're good. Yeah, it's just force damage if they fail.
Again, I'm sorry, Spot. I will make it up to you. That was an oversight on my part.
You're fine.
But now you have to run past the wind wall to get out, though.
Is it? I guess I was trying to do it like directly over the gate.
So you want to? I think the best I could do is at least put them on the edge of it.
Are you mean like a wall or like a circle?
I guess it's technically a wall, so just like so the wind wall at the center of it is the gate.
All right, I'm okay with that. So we'll stop it at the top of the gate, and you can put those hit points back, Spot. You're good. It would have missed you because she's basically focused the wind wall effect around the very surface of the gate. So in case there's any kind of physical attack on the gate, it could possibly reduce its effect.
Hopefully. And again, it's supposed to be any lightning bolt that hits the wind wall goes back up.
So what'd you get for Lunch's con save?
19.
19. He is still in his dragon form, so he is good. So you still have your bonus action and your move.
Nice. Okay, I'll.
Technically, you only have your move because
the
bonus action was to telepathically control Lunch.
Can I stay where I am, but maybe use that time to just like scream some obscenities at the dragon to try and, just get in his head a little?
Sure, you give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
Just for some shiggles.
Well, it's a 3.
3. It's pretty much just focused on the stone golem that just suddenly appeared in front of it. It can hear like what sounds like a squirrel in the wind, but it doesn't know where it's coming from.
Dang it.
Chitter, chitter.
So that will take us to the top of the 6th round. Winter, you are up with the storm on deck. And you're mute if you're chatting. There we go.
Yeah.
I thought about this in my head and I was like, okay. I should refly from this angle. I think I'm gonna aim. Well, he's turned that way. So aim for like the neck. Is there like a vital part of his neck? Like, can I see
I think the challenge that everyone's having with this dragon is that it is neither corporeal or translucent. It's almost like it's using ethereal magic to benefit itself and to keep from taking too much damage. It definitely feels like a magic creature to you. You could bonus action a history check and see if this creature has any link to elven lore.
Okay, can I do that?
Oh my god, was that all coming through Xanth's microphone? That was pretty funny.
I thought it was mine.
It sounded like it sounded like there was a motorcycle in our living room.
Yeah, there was like a whole motorcycle party, going by down the street.
It's funny, Xanth, you always have the look of somebody who lives downtown. Like every now and then your face just gets that, oh god, not again kind of look.
That's the lifestyle.
What'd you get for your history check, Winter?
I got a 19.
19. This creature is behaving a lot like a shadow. They weren't necessarily called shadow dragons. Sometimes they were referred to as shadow wyverns. and sometimes they were referred to shadow talons. In the Feywild and in the Shadowfell, there are two different forms of these creatures. This one seems like it's an amalgamation of both forms, and it's been corrupted with ethereal magic. Something very powerful has brought this thing into existence, altered its shape, altered what it is, and it's now benefiting from kind of like the existence of the two forms. This is allowing it to kind of like warp its form into shadow every time it's struck by weapons, and therefore preventing itself from taking full damage of the physical strikes and the other activity that the team is doing. They do have a ultimate weakness, and that is because they are of ethereal magic, technically they can be dispelled. That is their greatest weakness.
And
Wait, what's their weakness? It lagged a little.
To be dispelled, because they are considered magical creatures. So if someone were to cast Dispel Magic, it would cause the creature to no longer be able to anchor itself on the plane. It is also vulnerable to banishment, because once it's banished for up to a minute, it would not be able to come back.
Well, can I try banishing arrow then? That's all I got.
Yeah, go for it. Roll to hit.
Oh, please be good. Okay.
thanks,
The one's a
DC.
19.
That, unfortunately, is going to miss. You watch as the arrow arcs towards it. Its shadow form separates, and the arrow passes through and clanks onto the ground before it disintegrates.
Eat one of your frittatas.
I'm crying.
Well, this
You can
second
still
one
take
is
your
gonna
second.
be-
You can still take your second normal attack if you want to.
It was a 15, so it's not going to hit.
15 will miss as well. Like, I think this is the first time you double missed in like forever. Both arrows arcing through its shadow form as it comes apart. Both arrows clatter and disintegrate on the ground. Do you want to move at all?
Nah, I think I'm going to stay hidden in the tree. It's always when I need the arrow to be a good one that I always get shitty rolls.
Yeah. No. Welcome to D&D, my friend.
Or like, you know, when we're trying to do some lore hunting and, you know, everything we roll is less than 10.
I need everyone to make dex saves, please.
Ah.
I'm going to
Okay.
use my advantage on this one because I have the silvery
Yep.
barbs effect. Yep.
You did.
Is this a magical effect or just a regular storm?
This is a magical effect.
Ooh.
That's an 18.
18 will save.
I have a 20.
20.
20 will save.
26.
24.
That'll save.
I got a 15.
15 will just barely save. Winter?
26.
I have a 20.
Yep, everybody saved. As the effects of the storm are beginning to build, the stones are getting brighter and brighter. The kind of ozone magical smell of like just this almost like an unnatural smell of energy is beginning to get more intense as the storm rages.
Love you, hon.
And you begin to notice little hairline tendrils of energy beginning to kind of like come into existence. And you watch as a nearby gap of energy kind of explodes. And a small kind of like magical creature, super tiny, kind of flies out of it and then disintegrates as it tries to continue flying. That will bring us to Spot's turn with the creature on deck.
All right, I don't think this is allowed, but I'm gonna.
How do you know you're playing D&D on Sunday? With one of your
Exactly.
players. I don't think this is allowed, but I'm still gonna ask.
All right. I'm aware of his, his frightening aura.
Correct.
I've already been affected by it negatively, but I want to know if I might be able to channel my my stillness of mind on this turn and just kind of psych myself up for it to do something next.
Ooh,
turn.
I like
Just,
that. You have to. Do you have key points?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. Spend the key points, and I will say It'll give you advantage on the save for his aura. And if you do save because you spend the key points on stillness of mind, it will have no effect on you.
Okay. In that case, I've already spent it, but I'm going to kind of psych myself up, and I'm just going to charge at it and try to, like, if I can, just kind of grapple onto one of his wings and just use my weight to pull myself down with my talons. So I'm going to...
Give me acrobatics.
All right, acrobatics.
So you just went like Super Saiyan Kitty, like sitting away like,
that was amazing.
Super Saiyan.
29, if you didn't hear me there.
29.
I have ridiculous acrobatics.
So go ahead and give me a con save with advantage, because you do have stillness of mind active.
Oh, shit. Hang on. This is always annoying. Let me do something real quick. How many are you? Let me do this a second ago. Why aren't you letting me do this? Sorry about that. This is just being a dick. All right, I got I was trying to do an actual roll on that. Well, actually, here, fuck that. There we go. That's better. Okay, 18.
18. So you'll take no damage from the aura effect, but it's weird as you clamber up, like you leap and latch onto one of its wings. Mm-hmm. As you grab onto the beast, because it doesn't see you as an immediate threat, and you're able to grapple onto its wing, you're now experiencing the duality of the creature, and you can see its shadow form as well as its ethereal form, and they are the reason why it's able to come apart and shift and move whenever it's under threat. So while its material form is kind of like what you can see, its ethereal form is almost like a ghost-like translucent spirit. And those two forms colliding seem to also be affected by the storm as well.
All right. While I'm on its wing, do I see any place where is there like an obvious point of connection between those two? Or are they just kind of overlapping on top of each other?
It's almost like when you watch something blur, like it
all right,
like blurs. There's no real connection that you can see.
All right, if I can see both of them, and I'm hoping this will work again, but this isn't actually me cheating. I'm going to try to claw at the ethereal form and trust that my attacks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming abilities. So
keep in mind, your action was to grapple it.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Your bonus action was your still your mind to avoid the terror effect, so and then your move was to leap onto its wing. But keep that in mind for your next round, because that's not a bad idea.
All right.
So that brings us to the creature's turn. Seeing the stone golem come into existence, the creature is going to use its activated breath on you, Xaneth. I need you to make a con save, please.
Okay.
See happy.
Will this be a magic effect so that I would have resistance?
It would be a magic effect.
Okay. All right, 18.
18. That will just barely save.
Nice.
And it is using its shadow breath on you. So that would be half. So you're resistant to it as well. So you get to have it because you saved. So it's going to be half of 82 points of necrotic damage, half to 41, but because you're resistant, it's half to 20. So you only take 20 points of necrotic damage.
I don't know. I don't think I actually am immune to necrotic damage.
No, but you're resistant to magic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that means I have advantage on the saving throw.
Oh, that's true. So you'll take 40 points of necrotic damage then.
Okay.
That's its action. That's the only thing it can do because it's under the
it's
effect.
slowed.
It's slowed. That is the only thing it can do.
Mm-hmm.
However, at the end of its turn, that is a 22 for its wisdom save, right?
Wisdom save.
Okay. Keep track of that. So it is no longer slowed, but that finishes its turn. Earthen, you are up with Xanath on deck.
Did anyone share any of the information that they just gleaned in the last round?
Winter must have shouted out, like, oh, it can be banished or dispelled, right?
I leave that up to her.
I shouted it out.
Over the roar of the storm, you just hear Winter kind of like bellow out those two weaknesses about it. The fact that it seems connected to the storm and that it is vulnerable to dispel and banishment effects.
Okay. See, I'm within 120 feet of that bad boy.
Yep.
So I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the thing.
Okay, it is going to expend its second legendary resistance on you and resist that effect outright. As you feel your spell come into existence, you feel it focus on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
A magical barrier kind of pulses back. You feel the spell get consumed, and he is still there, still in the material plane.
It's okay. I could do this all day, buddy.
Did I, when it was doing that, I know I can't really do any kind of actions, but while I was doing that, did I notice anything between the ethereal and the physical forms?
What's your passive perception?
Let me double check.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure it's high enough to
Passive
glean.
perception is 17.
17? When it resisted Earthen's attempt at dispelling it, the material form weakened and the ethereal form strengthened.
All right.
So you get the feeling that the ethereal form is its magic base and the material form is its like physical melee, like what it uses its form for attack.
All right. I'm just going to kind of, as a free action, just try to yell at Earthen, it's in 2 planes! 2 planes!
Okay. You hear, everyone hears Spot yell out that it's in 2 planes of existence. With that, Eartha, you still have your move and your bonus action.
Yep. Let's see. For my move, I would actually like to move closer to the glowing gems. Like,
Okay.
even down to, like, touch. If I can move close enough to, like, touch one.
So are you flying at all still, or are you just...
Yeah, still in the air, but just, like,
Okay.
next. Yeah. And question. Could I use identify as a bonus action?
No, it'd feel more like an action of casting the spell itself.
Okay. No worries. Just a thought.
Mhm.
Yep. In that case, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that'll finish your turn. Xanath, you are up with Puck on deck.
All right, I'm gonna roll to recharge slow. Oh, it does recharge.
Damn it. Sorry. At the end of Earthern's turn, it is going to expend 3 legendary actions to create... Yeah, it can only do this once. So it's going to create a shadow cloud around it. That will increase its armor class, and anybody not within 15 feet can no longer see the creature. Only those within 15 feet and within the shadow cloud itself can see the creature.
So we just see a cloud?
You just see a cloud of pulsing shadow around its form.
All right.
How many feet am I?
More than
You
15.
are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You're about 45 feet away from it.
Okay.
Xanath, because you're inside the cloud that it just pulsed out,
Mhm.
any of your any melee and ranged, or sorry, any melee attacks on it will have disadvantage.
Okay. but I can see him because I'm within 15 feet.
Because you're in the cloud, yeah. You're in the shadow.
All right. Well, if his armor class is up and I have disadvantage on the attack, I do still have +10 to hit. But
I mean, you're a beast.
Yeah, I am a beast. Why don't I try slam attack? Because no one else can even see him to hit him right now except for Spot.
Okay, go for it.
Multi-attack it because you get to do it twice, right?
Yeah, I'll do it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to roll with disadvantage.
It's kind of like being reckless as you rage.
So 21 for the first hit.
21. You feel your slam go towards it, and at the last moment, it kind of like the shadows get darker, and it pulses out and consumes itself in the shadow as your slam attack misses.
It misses with a 21?
It does.
21 was its old armor class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took notes.
All right, I'll try one more.
How dare you?
No, that's not going to hit him.
So it's like you're struggling. Like every time you get near him, once again, he shreds out, shreds in. Spot. Give me 2 deck saves, please.
All right. All right. You gonna let me do this or not? Or you gonna be a pain in the ass?
If that has anything to do with D&D, it's going to be a pain in the ass, I bet.
All right. First one was I think a 17 because that's the first one. And the second one is 25.
25. So something interesting happened as you noticed Xanath in her form strike out at this creature. When it kind of pulsed into shadow and like darkness and back again and out and back again, barely holding onto its wing the first time, you almost slipped into where it ethereally exists. You get the feeling that the presence of its ethereal form is somewhere very far from where you currently are. And you get the feeling that if you fall through its material form and onto its ethereal form, you will be in the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
So that will finish that'll finish Xanath. Anything else you want to do at all? Does that finish your turn?
That finishes my turn.
Okay, that finishes your turn. Puck, you are up, and then we'll be at the top of the 7th round.
Nice. Okay. So I don't know how much that relates, if I know it or not, but Puck's favored enemies are beasts and fae. Would that factor into the situation?
It could if he's still up in the storm at this point, correct?
Yes. Lunches.
Oh, you're thinking of Puck. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said lunch. Actually, yeah, it would factor in. What are you trying to do?
I guess at this point, because I can't really go into that, it seems like something is happening with the crystals that's bad news for us. So I guess I'll try to see if I can do any insight into what is happening and what can be done to stop it.
Give me an insight check. And because Faye is a favorited, you can have advantage on it.
Okay. The way this is not going well, it's a 9.
A 9? I'll say this much. Everything that's happening is happening faster than expected. It feels like the storm, the gate, and the energy affecting the gate is moving too fast.
Okay.
It's still at least a solid hour away until the ceremony of placing the orb within the componentry of the gate. But the pace of the storm seems to be picking up, and the amount of energy that's being absorbed into the gate is picking up as well.
Okay, I'm gonna. Was that? I guess
We'll
that was.
We'll say that was your bonus action.
Okay,
So you have your action and your move left.
Okay, let's maybe talk through this idea. Maybe I'm overzealous with some new spells. I'm trying to find things to do, but could I potentially do spike growth over the crystals just to kind of try and block anything that's trying to come through?
The spike growth would be a physical prevention, and so far everything with the crystals seems to be more of a magical absorption.
Okay, so
wouldn't that cancel out your wind wall though? Because they're both. I think they're both concentration, aren't they?
Is it? It's either way. It doesn't seem like a good idea. So I'll step off that one and see what I can do to help with a big, spooky dragon. I can't see anything. I guess I'll try to move towards the dragon and try my best to do just like a regular.
So you're up in the tree. So you're coming down from the trees?
Actually, it makes more sense if I'm going to shoot him. It makes more sense to do it here.
Okay, go for it. Because you get 2 shots, right?
I get 2 shots, and also my bow is enchanted, so I think I have
advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good because the first one was a 1.
Ooh, it's a 1?
No. Wait, the first one was, but the second one is 29. So advantage, thank God.
All right. Gotcha. So that one will hit.
Nice. And so the damage should be 7.
All these 7s.
And then I have another one.
Yep, go for it with advantage.
So the first one was 27, and we'll go with 27.
27 will hit.
Nice. Wait. 5.
We're just like...
It's a 5.
5? Okay. So with that, both crossbows. And once again, for you, Spot, the material form kind of comes apart, but the bolts actually travel into the ethereal form, doing some damage. Not full damage, but doing enough to still affect the creature. So you definitely can confirm that it's like existing in 2 separate planes of existence. So with that, that'll take us to the top of the 7th round. Let's go ahead and take our 5-minute break now, just because timing-wise it works well. And let's come back in about 5 or 6 minutes, and we'll continue the second half. It's the wrong one. Oh, there you go.
For the life of me, I cannot find the list of those spells that I used last time. It was, yeah. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I can't find.
we are back.
Yeah.
I did find it. This is me. Should have bookmarked it. It was Bane, not Blight.
Bane, that's why his base was red. But does Bane require concentration?
I don't think so. I just looked in the thing. Concentration up to 1 minute. So
okay, so when you morphed out of your form, you would have dropped concentration on.
Okay, so which is good because I was like, why is his base red? I wasn't sure if it was Hunter's Mark, and then Bane makes sense. That totally makes sense. All right. Top of the round, Winter. You are up with the storm on deck.
Okay. So, I guess can I still try banishing arrow one more time?
How many have you used it yet? Was that the first time you used it?
It's usually the top of the fight. We used it at the top of the fight last time. Yeah. Because you hit him and he had to burn a resistance.
Yeah. He just burnt his second resistance. And I think you only get two per day on those. But double check your special abilities on that. It should be underneath your bonus actions or your feats and features.
It doesn't.
You should have to tick it off when you use it.
Yeah, let me take a look at it for you.
It doesn't have a ticking.
Why am I having a hard time finding? Oh! I think I forgot to enable the campaign. Because I'm an idiot. Let me. Oh my god, I'm running way too many games now.
Oh.
That sounds like a good problem to have, man.
Running way too many.
Yeah, because it falls under the arcane shot, so it's.
I can't. Does it?
She's used them. She used them both.
Because at her level right now, she only gets.
It's 2 per short rest.
2 per short rest. That's right. Anything else you'd like to do? Take your normal attacks.
Yeah.
You have an action surge.
A what?
If you need it. Your action surge, if you need it, where you just get to attack again in the same turn.
Oh. Ah. I didn't even know what that meant for a minute.
Yeah.
So take your 2 attack. Take your 2 attack rolls.
If you want to use it. Yeah. It's just if you want to use it. I'm not yet.
Because his shadow effect was only good until the end of the person's next turn. So it would have dropped after Xanath's turn, but which is why Puck was able to hit him. So his pulsing shadow that was swirling around him is now gone. Go ahead and take your first 2 attacks, Winter.
So the first one is a 20.
That'll just barely miss.
With a damage of 11.
Oh.
The 20 will miss.
Oh, 20 will miss?
Yeah. Just barely. His armor class is a 21.
Yeah.
Ah.
So go ahead and roll for your second.
It was a 15. That'll miss too.
Yeah. So do you want a bonus action surge? Do it again?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, it's a 31. Ah.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Is 31 a critical for you?
Yeah, you get a 20 on the ooh.
Because I rolled a natural 20.
All right, go on. Yeah, 15. Did you double the dice roll, or did it double it for you?
It doubled it for me.
Okay, so 15 points of damage. Go ahead and roll for your second attack. Technically, your 4th attack.
God, that's nice.
It's a 23.
That'll hit as well.
That'll
Roll
hit.
for damage.
It's a 7.
7.
Lucky attacks. Right?
So,
7.
4 arrows, 2 of them striking through the material form and getting into the ethereal form of the creature. It is showing signs that it's having troubles managing both its material and ethereal form. It still shreds in and out of existence, but it seems to be struggling to keep that energy focused. So it is definitely getting weaker. Do you want to move at all, Winter?
If I move, would there be a reaction?
No, because you are not in base with it.
Nah, I think I'm gonna stay right there then.
Okay. That'll finish Winter's turn. The storm is up. I need everybody to take deck saves, please.
I failed.
27.
That'll pass.
That's 12.
Okay.
I got an 11.
That will fail as well. What'd you get, Winter?
17.
That'll pass. Puck, what'd you get?
24.
Oh, you high dex people. So, Xanath, you will take 15 points of force damage from the effect of the storm. Earthen, because you're so close to the crystal, you're going to take 21 points of force damage as the storm, the force and the energy that it uses, it strikes the crystal. It kind of like pulses brighter and with more force effect out from it, and you feel like the energy kind of like pulse into you. I need you to roll a 10 or higher just to remain concentrating on polymorph, please.
Well, first, can I ask if there's a way to react to that strike?
Why?
Like
What
if I could roll a react, like if I could use where'd it go? Like cutting words wouldn't work, but
Now, unless you have something,
because that's my AC. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you have something that physically allows you to maybe avoid magical damage somehow.
Yep, that would be great.
So give me a 10 or
There's
higher.
like a counter spell wouldn't work, right?
Reaction counterspell that would mitigate it. I'll say it'll cut it in half.
Okay, then yeah, let's do that.
So use your reaction to cast
Yep.
counterspell, which allows the force bubble to kind of weaken as it gets near you. So you only take 10 points of force damage, but you'll still have to roll a 10 or higher
Yeah.
to maintain concentration.
Sure. Yeah, got that one. 16.
Okay, you're good.
Sweet.
Xanath is still a stone golem. Spot, you are up
That was
with the
very
creature
close.
on deck.
All right. Per what I was saying last time, I'm going to try to use my keen power claws to like just drag into the ethereal creature and see if I can damage him with my keen power strike.
Go for it.
Just- All right, so let me roll to hit for that. There you are. Ooh, first one is a 27 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
All right. 13.
Nice.
And again, I don't know if it matters for that, but for the purposes of resistance, where my attacks are magical.
Yep, nope, you're good.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my second attack. Do the same thing. Actually, can I grapple this thing, or is it completely,
It's an entire action to be able to grapple it. And
Okay.
there's such a size difference that it would be immune to the grapple effect.
Okay, I didn't know if it was the same physical size or if it was a smaller creature there. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and do. Second one is a 19 to hit.
19 will not hit. While you feel, I would say though, because you're perched up on its wings,
Mhm.
you can have advantage.
Okay, give me a second to reroll.
Yeah,
Ooh, that'll definitely. That is a 26.
26 I'll definitely hit. Roll for damage.
All right. That is 14 damage.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, let me get this up here because I don't have this super great. I am going to do a flurry of blows, but I'm going to target the physical creature on this. I'm going to
Go for
basically
it.
try to if I hit, I'm going to try to take a chunk out of its wing. Basically, sink my claws in it and use my weight to pull down so it can't fly away.
Go for it.
All right, so first one of my flurry of blows, and I'll get that in a second. Not that one. That one did not hit. That's an 11.
No, it just... So for those of you watching Spot on the back of this creature, the first 2 strikes, it's almost like Spot's form disappeared. Like it glitched out and pulsed out of existence and came back. Pulsed out and came back. And then the next time you watch as they bring their claws up into the wing and they attempt to rake the claws across the wing, but the material form of the creature turns into smoke and shadow and prevents Spot from being able to like strike its physical form. But once again, it's struggling to be able to make it do that. Like its form pulses in and out of physical and kind of like shadow form, and it seems to be getting even weaker.
Question though, because that was my first, because flurry of blows, I get the 2 strikes.
Correct.
So
Yep.
The second one, I did roll a 21 to hit, so I should.
So just barely hit. So go ahead and roll damage on that one.
All right. Where are you? 18.
18. Go ahead and give me a dex save. I want to make sure you can stay up on its form.
Okay.
Don't want you to fall into the ethereal plane.
Or do we?
Or do we? That is a 22.
Okay. Stay perched up on its wing. That'll finish your turn. All right. The creature is up.
He's not going to like me.
Oh, he already doesn't like you.
I'm so friendly. I'm a good kitty.
It is, you know what? It is going to try, you know what? Yeah, it's going to do that. It is going to, its breath is recharged, but it is going to shadow step. And because you saved, it's bringing you with you.
Nice.
Over to the gate.
Do I get an attack of opportunity or not because it's shadow?
Yeah, it's shadow step, so it unfortunately does not trigger a reaction from you. It is going to action cast Ghostly Presence. Earthen, give me a con save, please.
Oh God. Not my best. Not my best.
Oh. Was that a good heh or a bad heh?
That was a very bad. It was a very bad huh. I have a -1 to Constitution, so that was a 2.
A 2. You feel this necrotic energy begin to wrap around you. You watch as your skin, your hair, all begin to kind of wilt and kind of age. You are now diseased.
Hey, one before we do that, just as I'm curious if this is allowed. Can I toss in my ring of resistance? I'm on the thing's back. It doesn't look like it would be particularly difficult.
No, because that's only going to help you, unfortunately. So, Earthen, take 26 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And you are currently diseased.
No. I'm very much down. I had 11.
And your fly effect is a magical item, right?
Yep, so I'm still floating in the air.
You're still flying. You're floating in the air.
Floating zombie body. And 26 was more than I needed to go to 0. So,
and it will get half of your hit point pool transferred to it. So it'll get 13 life tap. I believe, Zenith, you immediately return back to yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just in time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That'll finish the creature's turn. Zenith, Or Earthen,
Well,
give me a death
I gotta roll a
save,
death
please.
save, yeah.
Give me a death save, please.
Familiar territory, right? Oh, that's a 2.
That is one failed death save. Xanath, you are up with Puck on deck.
All right. How close is Earthen to me? Is he within 60 feet?
He
Not yet.
is 70 feet away from you.
All right. I will run forward 10 feet and hit him with the healing word. Let's see what I got left.
At what level?
Let's do level 3.
Okay. As the spell goes off, you feel a counter spell pulse of energy come from the shadow talon. As this pulse of, and you feel your spell fade.
What?
As he counterspelled you.
All right. Well, I am going to, and I can't do a bonus action healing word because I did it for my action. So,
Well, technically, your bonus action healing word is your healing word is a bonus action, correct?
well, so I can do a first level healing word as a bonus action, but I can't do a third level as a bonus action.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, you can't do spell on spell, so yeah, that would be correct.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't waste it. Like first level is not a lot of help for me.
All right. Let me see. Well, it would prevent you from rolling more death saving throws, but
Yeah, but at the same
It
time,
would have been counterspelled anyways.
Wait, you could double. You have to burn a
Well, no,
legendary.
you can't spell. You can't do a
Oh,
spell
yeah,
on
yeah,
a
yeah,
spell.
yeah.
So
Right,
either
right.
way, whether she did it at first level or
Gotcha,
at third
gotcha,
level,
yeah.
she still would have been counterspelled. So I think it's safe to say bonus action first level healing word would be more applicable, and the creature would have then counterspelled that. So I'll say you could still have an action if you want to. And
Oh,
still
okay.
have 25 feet or 20 feet of movement left.
I'm
All right.
not quite dead.
all right. If I'm getting my action back, well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll throw up my Twilight Sanctuary again, and I'll give myself some temp HP. And
Is
anyone
that a
who's
spell
within
or a
30 minutes-
cantrip?
It is a channel divinity.
Yep, that you can use it. Yep.
Okay.
Is that only for you? Is that everybody or other
Any-
people within?
Anyone who's in 30 feet of me can take some temp HP. Is
That
there anyone
would
within 30?
account for Spot because he's on the wings of the
Awesome.
creature.
Awesome.
That would also account for Winter. She's within 30 feet of you as well.
All right.
How many was it?
All right. Anyone within 30 feet gets 15 temp HP.
Nice.
Now, you could move 20 more feet, and that would also include Earthen.
Oh, yeah. Let me
But
do that.
that'll put you almost in base with the creature.
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay?
If I can, however I can do it. Yeah. Let's give
All
it a
right,
shot.
so with that,
See how it
Earthen,
goes.
you feel the magic of Sanctuary pulse into you, and you immediately come to consciousness with temporary hit points.
15, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So Spot gets 15, Winter gets 15, and Earthen gets 15. However, Xanath, give me a Constitution save, please, as you move
Okay.
within range of its aura of terror.
All right. That's an 8.
8, that'll fail. You take 13 points
Oh,
of
boy.
necrotic damage.
Okay.
And that'll finish your turn. That was a good turn. Puck, you are up. So, Puck, I need 2 con saves from Lunch. Because at the start of each of his turn, as long as he's in the storm, he's vulnerable to the storm effects. So I need 2 con saves from him. You're mute.
Okay.
No worries.
One is 6 and one is 13.
Okay, the 6 will fail. You feel a familiar coin inside your left pocket
Oh,
as he has been
Okay.
turned back into his coin form.
well, thanks, friend, for trying. Okay. Not much I can do. How far am I? Is it okay to change the angle to see how far I am if I stay up? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
We gotta kill this guy because everyone is so low at this point.
Yeah. My best weapon at this point is just kind of shooting at him.
Keep up a steady pace of bolts.
Yeah, basically. I stacked my spells for like fighting a large group of lizard people. I did not expect this. So I'm gonna do 2 Hail of Thorns. Actually, no, I'll do 1 Hail of Thorns and 1 regular.
Okay. I think Hail of Thorns, you invoke that as a bonus action, correct?
It's just like a spell connected with
it's kind of like you're right. It acts like Paladin where you invoke a spell effect, but I think you can only ever do it once per attack round. I don't think it lets you stack.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you're not technically allowed to do spell. So your first one could be Hail of Thorns.
Okay, let's hope for the best. And I still have... Okay, it's 28.
28 will definitely hit. You watch as the bolt, and then halfway, it expands into a cloud of thorns, pelting into the creature.
Nice, and that's going to be 15.
15 points. Nice.
Finally. Okay.
Second attack.
What?
24.
Second bolt, passing into the material form. Its form kind of shattering open slightly, trying to coalesce. Its entire form almost glitches, like crackles in and out of existence as it's getting weaker.
I'm good. The second one was a 6.
Okay. Do you want to move at all?
I feel like I have a good thing going from this location as far as like long range, so I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna use my bonus action. Can I use my bonus action to check in with my tiger to see if help is maybe on its way?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Go ahead and we'll say you bonus action kind of try to warg into Punch to see where he is. And we'll say that you notice he is definitely down below, and he is currently amongst the lizard folk.
Okay.
You get a sense the group of them are now following him up the processional stairs.
Okay,
And one
good.
moment, I'm going to restart my camera. Give me 1 second.
Earth, I got a plan for my turn.
We win!
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out, buddy. I'm gonna try to anyway.
Hey guys, I apologize. I just realized when I do the Twilight Sanctuary, you get the bonus points, you get the 10 points at the end of your turn.
Nah.
So you guys will get those 15s at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I got a plan to unalive you in a second here, so.
Okay. I'm still currently unalived then, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
revert my hit points.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So,
All
I
right,
got
I'm
an
back.
idea.
Sorry, my camera was, my whole system was bogging down for a moment there. I wasn't sure why I was doing that. Okay, I am back. That'll finish your turn, Puck, or are you moving?
I guess instead of moving, can I try screaming at the thing again? See if it works better the second time.
Sure.
If I get really
Sure, give me
creative
an
with my
intimidation
insults.
check. See if you can actually get its attention this time.
Okay, if I get really creative with my insults, does that help at all?
I don't know. The squirrel noises weren't all that impressive to begin with. so-
Wow.
Ethereal Earthen's trying to throw bardic inspiration your way, but it's just his ghost of.
Frittatas, guys! Frittatas! Remember, you have that +8 frittata.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use the +8 for Tata because I got a 12.
Here, I got 2 of those. So
Okay.
I used one. I don't know how
I'll
many
say
I
you
got.
watch as the creature's head turns towards you, and the creature's head kind of like splits into an ethereal head and its material form head before it reforms back, and it just stares at you, and you watch as it gets this grin on its face. You definitely got its attention.
Okay, I give him two middle fingers.
With that, that'll take us to the top of the 8th round, if you could believe that.
Mhm.
Winter is up with the storm on deck.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to roll decks from.
So Winter, you are right there at the edge of the jungle.
Is he like super damaged or no?
He's looking weak. Like the whole fight, you get the feeling that he holds his form in place by the way he's using ethereal magic to keep himself anchored here. Right now, it's almost kind of like Avengers style where there's little wisps of tendrils of his energy leaking off of his form, like he's struggling to maintain his presence.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for his right wing.
Go for it. Give me 2 shots.
So the first one's a 22.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 6. The second one's a 21.
That'll just barely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's a 7.
Okay. His form is barely coalesced. He is looking very rough. His ethereal form protrudes through completely and then is forced back out of his material form. He, while looking angrily over at Puck, seems to have a hard time focusing, concentrating on their form. Spot, I need you to make a dex save, please, to maintain your position on the wing as it glitches in and out of existence.
What is that? A 26.
26. You kind of manage the timing to keep doing that. Winter, do you want to move at all?
Does he notice that I'm right there?
You get the feeling that between Spot, Xanath, and Earthen being so close to him, and Puck is kind of like giving him 2 middle fingers, so she kind of got his attention pretty good. He doesn't seem to notice you right now.
Then I'm gonna stay in the cut.
Okay. So you're going to stay where you are. That brings us to the storm. I need everyone to make dex saves, please.
Me too.
Yes, you're conscious.
No, I'm
Oh
not.
no.
It didn't. It doesn't work till the end of my turn.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what she was just saying. I'm still unconscious. Yeah.
Well, technically, you have 1 failed death save.
Yeah.
The
I probably now have 2.
The storm will give you 2 additional as you die.
What?
I
'Cause is
haven't. Am I
Go
allowed
ahead.
to use lucky?
What would you like to use lucky to do?
My save, because then I have an 8.
Sure, you can use a lucky point to make another save.
I got a 15.
That'll save. What'd you get, Puck?
I think Puck got
21.
Okay.
18.
Spot, what'd you get? 18, you're good.
I have a 16.
It's all right. Everybody's good, with one exception.
Yeah. Not
you
everybody.
watch
Come on.
as, because they are now attached to his dead form, he is no longer flying. You watch as he lands on the ground, sprawls out on the ground, and no longer seems to be breathing. That will finish the storm effect. Earthen, you are currently expired. Bringing us to sorry, I skipped a phase. It was the storm's turn. Spot, you're up with the creature on deck. My bad.
All right. I'm going to hope against hope that he's not dead and just kind of yell at him, Earthen, brace!
Nope, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead. That was three failed saving throws.
Yeah, I know, but I'm a kitty. I don't know that. I have 9 lives. I'm trying not to metagame too much, but
All right, so what you doing, Spot?
I'm going to run down the creature's neck. I'm going to use another flurry of blows to attack him. So let me get that pulled up here.
Let's start off with acrobatics to make sure you don't slip into the ethereal plane.
That is a 27.
Okay, so you're good. You're maintaining the balance. You're almost like going down its neck like a stepping stone. Its material form disappears, and you wait for the timing as you step, and it reappears. So you're kind of using the glitch of his weakening form to kind of like cruise down the arc of his neck, and you're now right behind his head.
All right, but yeah, I'm going to do my flurry of blows to try to hit him with 2. So we roll for those.
Okay.
First one is critical 29.
Sweet.
Nice.
So that first one, let me see what I got for damage on that. I got a total of 7, so I'll go ahead and double that to 14.
Okay.
And give me a second to roll for my second flurry of blows.
Yep.
That is a 24.
That'll hit.
Ooh, nice. 11.
11. Literally had 3 hit points left. So you guys watch as Spot goes racing up its neck, gets behind the head of the creature, and just strikes behind its head as it glitches in and out of existence. You watch as its material form turns to ash and shadow, just kind of melting away. Its ethereal form, no longer having the ability to anchor, it rears back in anger like it's trying to maintain its form and gets absorbed into the ethereal plane. You watch as the storm begins to lessen and energy begins to kind of like pulse outward as the storm is now weakening. You watch as the vibrant nature of the crystalline structures begin to fade a bit. They're not nearly as strong or nearly as like, they're no longer absorbing the energy that the storm was giving off. And it's at that point, as the creature disappears, that'll take us out of initiative.
So it's like in video games where like the party survives, everybody comes back to life at the end, right? One hit point.
Can I run over and revive Earthen if the dragon's dead?
Oh, absolutely, because within the first couple of minutes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I was gonna say I'm right there. I was gonna try to do this. I'm inches away from the guy. My plan was to basically tackle him away from there, and then see if I could use my wholeness of body and see if some of that would leach into him.
I will say if you and Xanath do that in kind, your wholeness of body will restore hit points to him. And Xanath, because you get to him within the first 2 minutes, go ahead and deduct the 100 gold for the diamond as you begin to cast Revivify on Earthen.
Okay.
All right. Because this is really a thing that targets me, you would presumably get half of that, like I'm assuming. So you're waking up with 13 hit points there, but it's better than nothing. You're alive.
So with that, things calm down a bit. The shredding remains of the creature kind of evaporate and kind of turn to ash and shadow. The ethereal form no longer there. The storm gradually fading. And within moments, cresting over the edge of the processional stairwell up into front of where all of you are gathered in front of the obsidian gate. Punch. leading the procession of some 20 or so lizard folk, including the priestess kind of like carrying very tightly the orb underneath one of her arms. It's a moment that Korgoth stops to look around, sees all of you in your weakened state, looks at the gate, looks at all of you, sees the very kind of like rough kind of condition, and seems a little confused as to what had happened.
There was I don't know, some kind of zombie quasi-undead dragon thing. It was weird, man. It was fucking weird.
We noticed that the storm was getting more powerful. We were afraid that it was draining the magical energy from the gateway. I think something was attempting to not only disrupt the ceremony, but possibly bring some semblance of another magic or power into existence at the same time. The Korgoth comes kind of like walking up to where Earthen's kind of in a sitting position. He lays both his hands on kind of like the chest area of Earthen and does lay on hands. So Earthen, you will get 31 hit points back.
Dang.
I feel much better than 2 minutes ago.
Was the ceremony successful?
The priestess is standing there holding the orb. The procession of the lizard folk are kind of surrounding her. There's no sign of the daughter. And currently the orb that the priestess is holding is kind of like pulsing with like a blue and yellow hueish energy and arcane energy kind of like wrapping around it. As soon as the priestess stands there looking at the five of you and then looking at up at the gate, you watch as magical tendrils of the crystalline structures begin to arc up into the air and course away from the gate. And then you could watch as little tendrils of energy are coursing from the orb up towards the gate. And as they do, they strike the etchings of all the different bits of pictograph and artwork showing all the previous times that the gate was sealed. And they all begin to light up with the magic kind of gradually infusing into the gate. All of you watch as the priestess shifts out of the group and then stands directly in front of the stairwell. Staring up at the gateway, she is now walking towards it. All of the energy coalescing around her form, the orb, and then suddenly up at the top right hand where the blank panel of stone was on the right gate, a new etching is coming into existence. And it's the familiar form of Korgoth's daughter. The ceremony of the infusement of the orb. And then, strangely enough, 5 unique individuals etched into it as well as a representation of Xaneth, Spot, Earthen, Winter, and Puck all begin to form as it is part of the experience of her spiritual form beginning to ebb out of the orb. And you watch as the priestess places the orb down on the ground in front of the obsidian gate. The energy of the orb floats above, coalesces in front of the 2 gates, and then you watch as the daughter form kind of forms briefly, but it's all light, pure energy. And the gates just kind of absorb her form. All the panels flare. The crystals flare as well. And you watch as the gates begin to fade. The crystals begin to fade back into the rock. And within a few moments, what was once a gateway of crystal and rock structure is now completely covered with the cliff face. Just like it just kind of folded in on itself. The gates are gone. The only thing there at the top of the steps are the orb. The priestess. She walks up the stairs, gets up to where she stands in front of the orb, and as she picks it up, she invokes magic. The orb begins to shrink and shrink, and then she puts it back inside the small pouch that she carries at her belt. And she turns to look at the procession. The last of the lizard folk have come up. All of you kind of looking up at her form as she has her hands and arms up in the air. As the course demands, so do the gods. Our sister travels to sit in the bosom of the Wild Mother, to watch over the Obsidian Gates for 100 years, to protect it and to keep it safe, until once again we are called upon to keep it sealed. This is the price we pay to keep the world safe from whatever evil lies inside this mountain. Once again, our heritage, our past, brings us to understand that for the next 100 years, this world is protected because of our sacrifice. She lowers her arms and hands, and you can see that there's a moment that the Korgoth kind of like wipes away a tear from his eye, mutters an invocation to himself, almost like a self-induced blessing, and all of the lizard folk do the same thing. They kind of bring hands to chest, bring their chin to chest, and all privately say the Wild Mother's blessing at the same time. I need everybody to make wisdom saves, please.
15.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, just because I do worship or adhere to an aspect of the Wild Mother, does this mean anything to me? I don't.
We'll see.
21.
Can I use resistance for this, or would it have to be something I knew was coming?
It would have to be something that you knew was coming. It's not really a magical effect.
Okay. I got 12.
Okay. Winter, what'd you get?
I win.
3.
16?
One hand. 3.
Okay. There's a moment where around the 5 of you, things slow down. There's a moment where all of the motion and all the activity around you slow down. You watch as a beam of light appears, and it's almost as if flowers like petals and ivy leaves and things are beginning to kind of drift into the beam of light. And a silhouette of a feminine figure, but devoid of facial appearance, kind of appears briefly. And you feel this presence, like something is here for a moment. Something has recognized what just happened. And the form moves to each one of you. And it's almost like you're bathed in light briefly as it moves from form to form and then stands back. It's like form then kind of like sits on top of the stairs, like standing there. And its form gradually getting brighter, and brighter until there's just this explosion of light and energy and warmth that kind of cascade out from the front of the gate past the inert lizard folk and kind of like just bathes the plateau and then the entirety of, like, it just continues on like a ripple in a pond, out and out and out. And all of you watch as the lizard folk seem to normalize and move again. Each one of you remembering the experience, but not sure if it really happened. And just this sound of the storm now being gone. The sound of the jungle-like noises in the background.
Did it feel like the Wild Mother?
Yeah.
I mean, you give me a religion check or an insight check.
All right.
Same for you, Spot. Religion or insight.
All right. Let me take a look, because I'm not an adherent of the Wild Mother herself. I'm an adherent of one of her daughters. So let me look.
I got a 15 for insight.
I got a 23.
Between the two of you, having this moment, like Earthen is still like sitting there, just, you know, struggling to kind of like recover from his wounds and feeling this near-death experience with Winter and Puck on either side of him. But the two of you take a moment to, you're not sure why, but you take a moment to stare up into the starry night. And that's when you realize that a constellation of the Wild Mother has come into existence up above. And you watch as a new star flares into existence within that constellation. A kind of puff of light and energy suddenly flaring with a slight blue hue of a star coming into existence. You're not sure if there's a connection here, but you feel like something has happened. Something has been experienced. That momentary weakness of the ethereal veil and this creature's attempt to try to open up the gate in advancement and purposely manipulate the magic of the storm. The storm was definitely connected to all this, but the creature did not originate it. The fact that it's possible that the presence of a god came to either celebrate or reward, but you're not sure which. But whatever was about to happen influenced the idea that godlike presence was drawn to what was happening.
Do I notice anything around here that would indicate that Nova or the Wild Mother, like, kind of, you said something that, you mentioned reward. Do I notice anything that's kind of like, hey, that seems like an offering?
Yeah, suddenly where the plain rock was, where the gate should be, and then it had been reabsorbed into the cliff face, the entire cliff is slowly being covered with ivy, and the ivy is in full bloom, like white, yellow, purple, like flowers. And then you watch as a single large flower blooms. And as it blooms, the head of this large flower kind of leans heavy. And then a small crystalline stone can be seen inside the flower.
All right. I'd like to kind of reverently walk up to the flower and just kind of look closer at it. Like, not
give me investigation as you stare into the face of the flower that's in full bloom.
Oh, that's a 2.
It's very strange. Like, you're staring at it, and there's a small crystalline stone in the middle of it, and it's surrounded by, like, the stamen of the flower in multicolors. The petals are multicolored as well. And there's definitely, like, a feeling of rarity. Like, this feels important.
All right. I kind of want to not yell, Spot's not a smart kitty, but they're a wise kitty. Just kind of lean over in Earthen's direction, and be like, Earthen, come take a look at this. Because
Okay. Yeah, I'll start to get I'll stumble to my feet, let's say, because I was dead for like 30 seconds.
you got better. It's fine.
And we'll say all 5 of you are kind of gathered up on the
got better.
stairs. So you're kind of all close enough to see what Spot is currently looking and pointing at. This small crystalline stone inside the face of this pretty good-sized flower.
So I'm going to walk right up to it and cast Identify and touch the stone.
Okay. As you reach out, the flower kind of ripples with like an awareness. And you reach out and touch the stone. The petals kind of undulate slightly with color and arcane dust coming off of it. And as you touch and identify the stone, it is a rebirth stone. This stone is designed to be put somewhere. The stone is part of the continuation of whatever this is that's going on here. There's then a memory flash for you, Errand, like you've been revealed to something. Your eyes take you a great distance back to the great mining pit on the other side of the island. You're pulled down into the pit, down into what was described as the hatchery, where the dragon was overseeing the eggs of the Sawtooth clan. And you could see this dragon, not in its clear form, but around its neck, a huge kind of like chain, and then in between the 2 points of the chain, a facetless like opening. Something that could receive a gem that you're currently holding. And you realize it's in your hand. The flower fades, kind of turns to kind of like magic like dust. And the only thing left behind is just the ivy and all the flowers in full bloom on the rock.
Was I able to get a vibe of what kind of dragon that was?
Not really, and that's strange. Once again, even through Scry and what your experience was, it's almost as if the form of this dragon is unrecognizable or unrevealing.
I'm going to take the stone and look back at what everybody else and Korgoth. And this is not the end. I know where this goes. Has this happened before?
Korgoth kind of steps up with the priestess off to his right. This has never happened. There are no recorded understanding of this stone or this interaction with the gate. Normally, all that happens is the gate fades. The stone is replaced and covers the gate. In 100 years, we do the ceremony yet again. We have never seen the likes of this before. Truly, the gods have touched or placed its boon on what we've done here.
Where does the stone go?
Funny you should ask. Remember when you tried to seek out Korgoth's mate and you started bleeding from your eyes and your ears and your nose and all that?
I remember it.
There's a moment she's like, yeah, I remember.
Nope.
You said you saw a dragon guarding the hatch, the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
When I touch the stone, this is the stone of rebirth. And when I touched the stone, I had a vision of the hatchery and the dragon, but I couldn't place the dragon. I couldn't, like, it wouldn't be seen. But on the neck of the dragon, a great chain, and at the end of the chain was a kind of pendant that had a slot for this stone.
Why does a dragon need a stone of rebirth? What would that do?
Well, not all dragons are bad, right?
It's true.
But I still worry that this dragon wouldn't reveal itself.
We know this is where we're going next, right? This has been the plan.
This was already the plan.
Yeah. Now we have another tool.
Is napping part of our plan too?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty beat up.
I'm dead tired.
Fine.
Which is like brushing off her armor. What's wrong? I'm fine. Let's go. We can go now.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm dead tired.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with you. I feel like I'm at, I don't know, roughly 82%, maybe a little bit better than normal with my boost. Like about 106% ish.
I'm gonna pocket the or put the gem in the bag of in the haversack of holding.
Okay.
Just while we are up on the plateau, were there any physical remains from the creature we fought, or are they just completely out of existence?
As far as you could tell, there are literally no remains.
Okay. I couldn't get a cool talon or something to turn into, I don't know, something cool.
You don't get the feeling that it was able to come into its full. You get I'll say that collectively as a group, you begin to realize that the storm, while not the source it created, it was using the storm to try to expedite the Obsidian Gate and use it as a way to come into the physical plane and come fully into the plane of existence. Once again, thinking back to when Draxelhaven's voice had mocked Puck as she reached out into the ether to figure out what was going on. The last time you saw a major storm kind of like come magically into existence was when you looked out in the direction of the great hurricane that spun around what Puck called a city-sized kind of like underwater of existence on the back of this great ancient turtle. And somehow that still feels relevant. Somehow that still feels like it's almost as if there's competing factors going on here. But with the Obsidian Gate resealed, whatever's trapped down in below is trapped yet again for another 100 years. The question is, what are they digging for? And what have they found?
Can I see if... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to make sure Lunch is okay since he was forced back into being a coin.
Yeah, you pull the coin out. The coin looks fine, and you flip the coin and invoke it, and Lunch comes back into existence.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, all that magic that was going. Closer I got to it, it forced me back into my Fey form. It was weird, and just like at the last minute, I was just kind of like concentrating on like I don't know, like maybe something to eat or the fun we have, and then the next thing I know, it's back to being a coin again. I didn't even really control it, to be honest with you. It just kind of happened.
Were you able to see anything up there? Anything that reminds you of maybe another dragon?
Not another dragon, but that's the closest I've ever been in between two places that I know I exist.
Oh.
It felt like if I wanted to, I could go back and stay. Is what it felt like. And I didn't want to go, so that's what made me go back to my coin. I like it here, I think. And the magic felt weird. There's something about that felt really weird. I just didn't like it.
Oh, well, I'm happy that you were able to get back. I won't make you go close to any of these again. They seem bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Just looking around where we're at, do I notice any just animal tracks, just anywhere where there might be not necessarily where wild animals would congregate, but just signs of abundant life, essentially?
Without even having to make a check, the plateau is devoid of anything recognizable because of what just took place on here. Looking around, you get the feeling that this whole place is just kind of reverted back to its natural existence.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of find a nice quiet corner and just look at Eartha and just be like, sigh really, really heavily and just be like, Eartha, cover me. Just get into lotus position and start to meditate.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if I can get in contact. If I can reach or contact Nilla, the Wild Mother's daughter, the one of the gods that I worship.
Okay. Give me a charisma save.
Charisma save. All right.
Since he asked for cover, I'll pull out my viol and start playing some calming music to give him some bardic inspiration.
Okay. I was gonna say I was gonna use that because I only got a 12.
Go for it.
All right.
It's
Actually,
a D10.
I got my frittata. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So, because that's a D8. So I'll do that.
Okay.
Come on, dude. Roll.
Bardic inspiration's a 10 too if you need it. A D10.
All right. Oh, it's a D10 now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm up to
One or the other. They don't stack.
All right. I'm up to 15. Is that
15?
Oh, good.
You definitely get the feeling that there's a moment of kind of like magical presence and resonance here. Like something very significant happened here. And although you get the feeling that something cast its gaze here and left that stone with the intent of it being used, for what purpose, you're not entirely sure. But the energy here has faded. The conclusion of the ceremony has weakened, has re-strengthened the material veil, and the ability to reach into the ethereal veil has been diminished. And with the fading of the storm, the only thing you pick up on that she allows you to feel so you can understand the veiled threat that still exists is the intense, seething anger of a presence deep inside of the volcano. Like so seething and upset and angry that it almost kind of like causes you to come out of your meditative state because it's just so intense and purposeful.
Hey guys, you know that thing in the volcano? I think we just pissed it off pretty good. Trying to get to Nilla and see if she could, maybe help us out, get the solid that we just did her mom. And all I got is that thing is really mad right now, like really mad.
Can I do a little victory dance in the direction of that volcano? Shake my little gnome butt at it.
We're like on the edge of the volcano, aren't we?
Yeah, you guys are like literally at the roots of the beginning of the mountain landscape that just goes on and on into like the caldera and the lava fields on the other side. This gate has been described as something that's meant to prevent magic from either going in or leaving. and forever keeping this god, this betrayer god, in its prison.
Eh.
I'm gonna fire off some sacred flames in the air.
And it's quite late now. By the time the ceremony concludes and all this has happened, it's well beyond late eve at this point.
I suppose we should return to the village. We can start our quest for the egg tomorrow.
Where's the rock?
Haven't seen it yet.
Kind of mad at the rock right now. So
Not very helpful.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1 for it to be able to hear you, unfortunately, and it could not hear the call.
Oh.
And it has not shown itself for a while now.
stupid bird.
Puck is outraged.
Dude, the bird's whole thing is to fight dragons. Like, that's the point of rocks.
Is it?
Ugh.
Earthen, you read strange books.
If only my friend Dr. Jalbatross were here.
So as the
Or
group of
Jonathan.
lizard folk and yourselves make your way back down the processional stairwell of the carved steps into the side of the cliff and the plateau, and then down into the edges of coming out of the jungled terrain around Sawtooth Village, the lizard folk all retire to their dwellings up in the cliff face. The guardian plateau seems to still be devoid of the rock, and you guys find nearby dwellings near the main Riverscape village. That is where the ceremony originally took place. There's a good dozen or so buildings and dwellings that you can take advantage of. Is there anything you guys want to do before you settle into your long rest?
If we were to sleep on the hallowed ground, would we get any bonuses out of that?
No. Certain types of bad guys can't get in, and you're like,
Yeah.
I think you're immune to necrotic damage, but I'm not sure it'd be relevant.
I mean, it still lasts the duration that it was intended to last. So definitely,
Yeah.
I would say, because the effect took place and everything's in place, I would say you guys could get a sleep without having to stand watch.
Awesome.
You'd be able to get that full rest and really be able to recover. And we'll say that the scouts and the hollowed spell prevent or do not require you guys to create a watch.
Right on. Well, that's some good rest.
Now that the thing is sealed in the mountain, I would like to I'm going to do a short rest and then try and scry on Mason.
Okay, I like it. So go ahead and trigger your short rest effects if you need anything from that.
Long or?
I was just saying short because
Okay, gotcha.
Because I'm at like 7.
Yep.
7 hit points? Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's
All right.
crazy.
I think Spot's pretty well tapped out for this. I'm going to go try to find like whatever field kitchen, wherever they have. And for once, I'm not going to cook anything. I'm going to find whatever oven, fire pit they have, find a nice warm spot, curl up in it, and just sleep.
Okay. Earth and Winter or Puck, anything you guys want to do before taking your long rest?
And I draw a smiley face and a high in the ground.
I love it. Puck?
Oh, just care for my animals for 5 minutes before passing out.
That's fair.
So Xanth, are you communicating what you're doing to anybody, or are you just gonna like walk off?
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'm going to, now that I think we're unlikely to be attacked, I'm going to try to scry on Mason again so I can find out what he's doing.
Yeah, just in case, I'm gonna be there to like spot a healing word if you start bleeding from orifices again.
That would
Okay.
be fantastic.
Scry didn't go very well last time.
It didn't go as I had hoped.
I mean, it went well on one aspect that we learned a lot, right?
That is true. So for scry, He has a negative. I think he has a. Would you say I know him well, or have
Oh
I
yeah,
met him?
he's got a -5.
All right, he's got a -5.
And I just rolled, and he has advantage on magical effects. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Ooh, incredible!
So needless to say, I know I've been rolling pretty good all night, and then I go and roll 2 and 3 on his. I think it's his wisdom save, correct?
It is wisdom. That's right.
Yeah. There is. You can hear for just a moment, Xanath, just the barest of moments, as all sound begins to fade. You can hear Earthen reminding you that he's here if you need him, but even his voice begins to kind of like fade. Off on your peripheral, you can see Puck over scrunching the ears and nose of Punch and Lunch, just kind of enjoying the fact that they're still there. You can see the smile on her face as she stares up towards the mountainscape, the great volcanic range off in the distance. Winter has her foot in the sand, kind of drawing out a smiley face. Just a great relief on Winter's face, realizing that this creature is dangerous. And more importantly, the realization that something from another plane of existence was able to be brought in and manipulated by the magics of whatever was going on here. But she uses this moment to kind of just steady her nerves and to enjoy a bit of revelry. Spot, you could see his tail as he's curling up at the base of one of the pit ovens that they use to kind of like cook food in the evenings. Like from this perspective, like a barbecue, but made of like mud and kind of adobe style construct. You can see where Spot has kind of curled up. They've curled up and drifted off to sleep. But Earthen keeps a watch on you as you feel your third eye come into existence. You feel yourself get pulled up out of your conscious self, and you're now in the ethereal existence, and you're drifting up above yourself. And then suddenly, as fast as you can, that effect is causing you to move swiftly over the mountainscape and down into the expanding lava fields. And as you come down, you can look and see the very center of this lavascape, the great, huge volcano kind of like arcing up, and a sense of smoke drifting from its crater, but no lava coming from its crater. And as your eye drifts around, it begins to plunge deep into the lava fields. And there, under a kind of like pumice-like rock landscape, this kind of like overhang, very much kind of like a Mordor effect, like these broken ravines, overhanging rocks, fractured kind of like pumice-like rocks and boulders and stones jutting up and protruding. And underneath an overhang, 3 figures that you can see. 2 are bound at the wrist, and they are currently sleeping. The third one you recognize as Mason. You hover there for a moment. He seems to be talking to himself, or maybe invoking a spell. You're not really sure. You watch as he reaches into his right eye socket, and you hear a pop, and pulls out his glass eye. And he sets it down on a rock in front of himself. And you watch as he begins to finish up the spell that he had started. You then watch his ethereal form as he has cast Scry.
Oh, no.
And as he casts Scry, without paying attention to you, you watch as it drifts backwards in the direction that you just came from. And as it drifts backwards, you're watching as he is in his meditative state. The one good eye, rolled back up into his head. And as you circle around him, realizing that he's scrying possibly on your companions, you're not sure, probably. You, Earthen, give me a wisdom save, please.
Gladly.
You circle around to take in this little area that they've kind of encamped in.
That is a 12.
12? Okay. That's really unfortunate.
You have a frittata.
Well, we still had the inspiration from the other thing, though, too.
Yeah, you could use a D6 if you want.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
It's got to be pretty high, but...
Nope. Yep. Not, though. So...
What'd you get?
It was a 1.
Oh,
So
yeah.
13,
That's not going to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As you're looking down at the captain and at her companion down below, they have changed. Their forms seem gaunt, weakened. You could see that while their hands are bound, their bone and skin and muscle is kind of like become atrophied. Like they're gradually being consumed by something. Whether it's a wasting disease or a wasting effect, you're not entirely sure. But there is something affecting them. Looking at Mason physically, he looks like his normal kind of over-the-top self. You know, still wearing the kind of like attire of somebody who is very kind of like ostentatious. He doesn't even care about the surroundings, even though he's covered in volcanic dust and debris via the hike over the ridgeline and down into the lava fields. It's his pristine kind of like appearance of his face, his hair, his neatly trimmed beard. The fact that he's not wearing those specialized goggles, you could see that his one eye is rolled up in his head and his other eye is just an empty socket where the glass eye sits in front of him. And within a few moments, he breathes heavily. And then he looks around, stares at your magic form for a moment, and just kind of smiles. Touche. And you feel you feel it expire. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, Earthen, you watch as Xanath kind of comes back into existence right alongside you. And your eyes roll out. And you and Earthen are kind of sitting there while the rest have all settled into their long rest.
No blood this time. Successful.
Fantastic. He is watching us. When I stride in, he was scrying as well. And he knows what we're doing. He's in the lava field still. He's still with the captain and with Mithra, but they are messed up, diseased, like their bodies are wasted. I don't know what he's doing to them.
I had suspicions about him the last time we met. That he may not be human.
What do you think he was?
Hang on, let me go back to my notes. That was several sessions ago.
A while ago.
Yes, that was a bit ago.
Nope, before the jungle. Nope, before SIBO. There we go.
Sorry, Spot. I will make that a priority Monday when I'm back in the studio.
You're fine. I was sending a message because I was going through some other stuff. It's like,
no, that's good. I mean, because I've only got like 25 DMs a day, so it's good that you remind me because I'll lose track.
25, God.
Yeah.
So few.
Waiting
about.
Did you think he was a vampire?
Yes. At one point, I thought he was something like a vampire. Where the heck was it in my notes? But yeah.
It was back when you had that encounter with them in the library.
Yeah, that was even further back than I thought. Because I was looking back to the fight.
Oh man,
that didn't go back far enough. But yeah,
that's
like the
some
whole
pretty insightful thinking there, Xander.
we kind of bopped into him, and I was like, "Wait a minute." Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't actually give a shit about them. Maybe he just needs to feed.
I mean, theoretically he could have just fed on one of them, right?
That's true.
But
they were emaciated. Their muscles looked atrophied.
Had no chance to observe them. Do we want to? I don't know. So one of our intents was to help them as well, but that was before Bullywog Boy murdered Puck.
Yeah, I don't think I give a shit about helping the Martinet or Mithra right now, unless there's something we don't know. I think our priority is different.
Yeah. Well, I think we've done all we can do now. We should rest.
Yeah.
So, as the two of you settle into your long rest, welcome to the milestone. You guys are all now level 11. Let's
celebratory sirens. That was perfect.
And unfortunately, I could not be late to my next session, so
Yep.
we're going to say goodnight to everybody online now, and then we're going to hang out for about 5 minutes, go over level 11, roll some hit points, and get ready for next weekend. So everybody, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us. That was a 2-part big bad battle. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun to play. So I really thank everybody for that. So you guys go ahead and hang out. Everybody else, we'll see you. We're good for next week, right? Everybody good for next Sunday?
Oh, heck yeah.
And next Sunday will be normal time. We'll be meeting at normal time because the other group is wrapping up tonight, and they'll be on a 3-week break as we get ready for their new campaign that will probably start near the end of April. So we'll be back to normal time for the next few weeks after tonight. Unless everybody likes this time. If you like this time, we could keep it. It's up to you guys.
I like 7.
I'd
It's
rather
doable.
do it
It's doable.
a little later if-
7, yeah.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Okay. So we'll go back to our normal time next week. Everybody else, thank you so much for coming out. Don't forget to, be nice, be kind, and play a game. It's good for you. We'll see you guys all next week. Or if you linger, you'll see me in a few minutes as we do the Great Lands. Good night, everybody. One of these days I'll remember this.